Okay, I'm out here in the garden and I'm about to prune my basil and preserve it for the winter. I have a lot of it, so I'm going to use the oven method and I'm going to show you how I go ahead and do that. If you see here, we've got flowering going on, and that's something you really typically don't want. But like I said, I haven't had a chance to get out here to do the basil. So if you look, you can see the stem here, and then you can see shoots coming out. But I need to go further down, so I'm going to go all the way down to here where you see the two coming out. That is where I'm going to snip. And we're going to take all of this to harvest. I swear I'm going to smell like basil all day today. This is from just one basil plant right here. And I still have another one to do, so I have a ton to harvest. So let's get to it. Okay, to preserve basil, you're going to need a salad spinner, some baking soda, some tea towels, and we're going to remove the leaves from the stem. That is literally it. I have so much basil, so I'm concentrating on these bigger leaves. I do have a dehydrator, but this is just too much basil. It would take too long. Okay, that's about enough after picking it. I'm going to put in some baking soda. I'm just going to sprinkle the baking soda in here. And we're going to put some water in and we're going to spin it. Baking soda is great at getting rid of pesticides or any kind of outside residue that might be on the leaves. However, I don't use pesticides, so that's not one of my main concerns. It's more to clean like the dirt and whatever else is in the air off of the leaves. Let it spin for a minute. Okay, so we can stop it. Just to make sure that baking soda is really in that water. So if there's any little bugs hanging out in there, you get them out of there too. Okay, stop this. I'm going to go ahead and give it another rinse real fast. Okay, I gave it a rinse. We're going to get rid of this dirty water. Get this basil in here. And we're going to spin it dry. As dry as we can get it. Good enough. Okay. Okay, after I've spun it in the salad spinner to get it somewhat dry, we're just going to put it here nice and clean out on the tea towels. Just kind of let it air dry a little bit while Since I have so much of it, by the time I get it in the oven, it'll be good. Just kind of spread it out a little bit. Like I said, this part is not really the worst part of it. Like some people want it super dry. When it's going in the oven, it does a very good job of drying it, so I don't really have that issue. Okay, so we'll let that air dry a little bit while I continue the rest of it. Okay, I have let this stuff air dry a little bit, and I'm gonna get it on just a regular cookie sheet. You don't have to put anything else on it. So I'm just gonna fill this cookie sheet up with the basil. Okay, my house is about to smell like basil, like crazy. So I put it on the cookie tray. This may actually be a little too much, but again, I haven't really had any trouble when I go to dry this in the oven. Sometimes I might have to like have it go a little bit longer and like just take a little spatula to it just to make sure, you know, we're getting all the moisture out of it. But generally I don't have an issue. So this is about half the pow. And I still got more to go, but I'm gonna get this one in because the oven is set to my lowest setting, which is 170. And this is where Harper and Rainey love to lay. The rest of the dogs, unless I'm chopping something up, they really aren't interested, but these two are in my hip pocket all the time. Okay, so this is kind of what's left after getting all the good leaves off of here that I could. There's a lot of flowers, so I'm gonna just throw this in my compost pile. Generally, you're not supposed to have basil go to flour, especially if you're gonna be making like pesto or anything like that, because you want the sweetness of the leaves. However, I'm going to make sure mine's preserved and dried. I'm not gonna waste any basil. But yeah, we're gonna put this in the compost pile. Okay. Been about an hour, and I'm not going to crunch it too much, but you can definitely tell it's dry. So we want to put it up on the stove and let her cool off for about 5 minutes. So I'm just going to take this basil and I'm going to kind of crush it up on this plate. It's been cooling for a little bit. And I don't need it to be finely ground. I just want it to get like the stems, if there is any, out of here. So like you can kind of see where the stems are. Just kind of going through it. And that's literally it. I keep on grinding these leaves up onto this plate. It's really easy. Sure, other people have it an easier way, but for me, this is pretty much just how I do it. Okay, after I get this nice and ground up, get some of the bigger stems out of here. A lot of the stems will actually, if you just go in, some of them won't. Okay, so from that batch, make sure my jar is nice and dry. Nice and dry, and in she goes. So I'm gonna put the lid onto the jar. And then every day I'm going to check for condensation and flip it over, and then do the same thing, check, and then the next day, vice versa. That is called conditioning, and you generally do it for about 7 days to make sure that everything's dry and ready to be sealed and stored. Okay, we're gonna get our next tray ready to go. We're gonna do the same thing. Stick it in the oven, same process.